Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name's Jenny and this is Arnold the Praying Penguin, and we create videos every Saturday about prayer, about exploring the Bible and about living out your faith. And today we're going to be starting a new mini-series giving a kind of basic overview of the church. So Diego is super excited about this because he loves church, he loves coming to church, he loves watching church online and all things church. So over the next month and a half or so we're going to be looking at what is church, why does the church exist, why do we go to church, and where do we go to church and where has the church gone. And of course Bernard is here with us as well because we're going to be having a look in the Bible to see what the Bible tells us about church and what the Bible tells us about these questions. And if you have any other questions about the church, let us know down in the comments and maybe we'll look at those questions as well. But for today we're looking at the question, what is church? And I'm sure lots of different things probably come to mind when we think of church based on where we've been to church and what our experience of church is. Maybe it's a small chapel in the middle of nowhere, or a really grand cathedral. Maybe it's really hard, uncomfortable pews, or maybe you're more used to church with lots of loud music and flashing lights and a lot of celebration. And I think for most people, when we think of the church, we think of a building, our place of worship, where we meet together, whatever kind of building that might be. But over the last year and a half, a lot of us won't have been able to use our church buildings. We'll have been meeting using Zoom or pre-recording services or even meeting outside instead. But that was still church, so surely church must be more than just the church building. Put simply, the church is all believers. It's all of us and everyone throughout history who has trusted and believed in Jesus. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthian church, uses the analogy of a body to describe what the church is. In 1 Corinthians 12:13, he says, "For we were all baptized by one Spirit, so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slave or free, and we were all given the one Spirit to drink." For Paul, the church is being one with Christ and one with each other. No matter what you look like, your skin colour, your wealth, your age, we are all one united body. And we are all united because we are all baptized by one Spirit. When Jesus ascended into heaven, he told his faithful followers to wait and pray because he was going to send someone to help them. So they did just that. I'm sure they were really afraid, really scared, but still they were faithful and they prayed. And then on Pentecost, as we read in Acts 2, God's Holy Spirit descended upon them and the church was born. They were one body, one group of people, all united under one Holy Spirit. Now, as for why God did this, why he created the church in this way, and where the church went from here, you're going to have to wait for the next two videos in this little mini-series, so make sure you're subscribed to see those videos as soon as they're available. But at Pentecost, the church was born. And the people who were there went out and preached Christ's death and resurrection, and the church grew and continued to grow and is still continuing to grow now. Not because we've been building more church buildings, but by believer after believer going out and telling other people about the love and forgiveness of Jesus. And then the Holy Spirit coming down upon these new believers and uniting them as part of that one body, the church, Christ's church. In 1 Peter, Peter is writing to a group of churches who are facing persecution, and he describes the church in a slightly different way. He says, "As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans but chosen by God, and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ." To Peter, the church is like a spiritual house, and all of us, everyone who comes to Jesus, is like a stone that makes up the building of this house, a living stone. And in this letter, Peter also describes Jesus as the cornerstone. And the cornerstone is the most important stone, the stone that is placed first, and then all of the other stones are placed around this stone. Without that stone, there wouldn't be any building, and without Jesus, there wouldn't be a church. So maybe the question shouldn't be, what is the church, but who is the church? Are you part of the church? Do you believe and trust in Jesus? If so, then you're already part of the church, already part of this united body under one Holy Spirit. And we'll be looking more at what this looks like and why the church is so important in the next video in this little mini-series. So we hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have, please do give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold. And we will see you next Saturday for a new video. Bye!